The dawn of the new year has arrived. It was February of 1865 and we finished eating breakfast. I was carrying a plate full of tea and opened the door to the common room. Tea's ready. I think we've been through this. We could skip. I returned to my room. We've seen this before. Perhaps it would be best to just return to my room. I didn't want to get in trouble for wandering around, but most of all, I didn't want to find myself in anyone's way. Even though I was worried about Sanan-san, maybe it's for the best for me to stay out of view, or out of the way. Not out of view. Just as the sun dipped below the horizon, the compound exploded with activity. My worry increased tenfold. Did something happen? I waited for a few moments for the activity to settle down, but it did no such thing. Something was wrong. I could feel it. I struggled against it for as long as I could, but eventually my curiosity got the better of me. There must be someone in the common room. I decided to ask someone what had happened.
まさか三男君が自ら薬に手を出してしまうとは。
Tea time.
たく、どいつもこいつも何してやがるんだ。三男さんから目を離すなってあれだけ言ったじゃねえか。
んなこと言われてもよ、薬を飲むとは思わねえだろ普通。あれを管理してたのは三男さんだったから、薬を持っててもおかしくはねえし。
小瓶一つぐらいなら懐に隠し持ってても気づかなかっただろうしな。確かにあの薬を使えば腕は治るかもしれねえだろうが、あれは失敗作なんだろう。飲んだ連中もみんな結局は血に狂っちまった。ってことは三男さんは。
I wonder what they meant by treatment. Occasionally, I'd hear the captains referring to something similar from time to time. So did Sanan-san drink that thing?
三男総長は独自に薬の改良を続けていたと聞きます。理性を保ったまま腕の傷を治す。その成功にかけたのでしょうが、失敗を悟った三男総長は掃除の制止を聞かず自尽したと。
Suicide? My words were past my lips before I'd even thought them. As one, all eyes in the room turned towards me.
どうしてお前がここにいる？
The longer his cold gaze kept me pinned, the tighter my throat became until I could barely breathe, let alone speak. I felt a strange combination of anxiety, suspicion, and animosity that I had felt before on the night I arrived to the headquarters of the Shinsengumi. Now, as then, I knew the meaning of that gaze.
トシ、そろそろ彼女にも聞いてもらった方がいいんじゃないか。彼女は光道さんの娘だ。知る権利はあるだろう。
I felt my eyes go wide at the mention of my father's name. Oh, I can do that with this button too? Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Huh. Hold on a second. Okay, we're fine. Why would my father's name come up here? As my body instinctively yawns. Don't tell me. He had something to do with this. Hijikata-san's gaze slid to Kondo-san, sporting an unpleasant grimace. After a moment, however, he gave a long, exasperated sigh and turned back to me.
先に言っておく。お前は新選組に必要ねえ人間だ。光道さんを探す役には立つかもしれねえが、お前がいなくてもどうってことはねえ。もしおかしな真似をすれば即座に殺す。そいつをてめえの肝にしっかり命じてから話を聞け。
The intensity of Hijikata-san's statement felt like a sharp dagger pointed at my throat. I'm the daughter. The Shinsengumi only let me stay with them in the slight chance I'd come in handy when the time arose to search for my father. Although it wasn't their primary duty, the Shinsengumi had the watch for all hunts. There's nothing left to tie me here, apart from my memories of the last year. Are you going to kill me? My words were flushed with worry, and Hijikata thinned his eyes like he was speaking to a servant.
まだ殺さねえよ。もっともいつ死のうと困らねえがな。
I was glad, I suppose, that I wasn't going to be killed, but I was still far from happy. God, I'm yawning a lot. Ah! Still fuck. I'd been with the Shinsengumi for nearly a year, and my position with them hadn't changed. The truth cut deep.
今までは君にも伏せていたのだが、コードさんはもともとここで薬の研究をしていてな。
You mean... I gulped audibly, and I carefully formulated what I was going to say in my head before I said it out loud. The one that Sanan-san took? When Kondo-san nodded, it was as if there was a great weight resting on him.
あの薬はもともと幕府の高官がここに持ち込んだものだ。何でも西洋との交易で手に入れたものだと聞かされている。
Curiosity swelled inside of me, and my head felt light from the anticipation. Still, I knew that digging deep is dangerous. These thoughts swirled.
人間の筋力と自然治癒能力を爆発的に高める西洋渡来の薬。あれを飲んだ者は野生の獣と渡り合うことも不可能ではなくなる。致命傷でなければ傷は立ちどころに塞がる。つまり首を落とされるか心臓を撃たれぬ限り戦い続けることができるのだ。
Does such a concoction really exist? It felt like I was hearing some sort of fairy tale.
ただし、あの薬には甚大な副作用がある。
A price?
あれを飲んだ人間は狂気に駆られ、人の血なしでは生きることさえできなくなるのだ。新選組の大使を実験台に薬の改良を進めていたのがコードーさんだ。
My father? Somewhere deep in my heart, I knew my father had some connection with all of this. Knowing my father was involved with driving men mad, all I could do was wonder why. To perform experiments on the Shinsengumi. So, that night in the alley... Saito nodded plainly.
薬を飲んだ大使たちは南部邸にいる。ヤギ邸では人目につくからな。血に触れぬ限り正気を失うことはない。我々にとっては御しやすい者たちだ。
Saito spoke quietly and indifferently. It was as if he was talking about what he was talking about was a distant memory. Living with him for so long made me forget. There was still a line between myself and the Shinsengumi men that couldn't be crossed, and his coldness reminded me of this notion.
大丈夫か？顔色悪いぜ。
大丈夫。
無理すんな。こんな話を聞かされりゃ気分も悪くなるよな。
おしゃべりはその辺にしとけ。今は三男さんのことが先だろうが。
つってもどうするんだ。三男さん死にかけてるじゃねえか。
あの薬はここに持ち込まれたばかりの頃とは違う。まだ狂うと決まったわけじゃねえ。 薬が効いてるんならどんな怪我でも治るはずだからな。
Hijikata felt like he was restrained in saying this, as if he was trying to keep his hopes low.
近藤さん、あんたは三男さんの様子を見てきてくれるか。今夜が生きるか死ぬか狂うかの瀬戸際だろうからな。
うん、行ってこよう。確か彼の部屋には掃除もいるのだったな。
Kono-san nodded deeply, then stood and walked towards the room.
三男さんの部屋へは誰も近づけるな。特に伊藤派の連中はな。
ああ、分かってる。
新橋、前川邸の様子を見てきてくれるか。
わかった。
As he passed, Nagakura's eyes met mine for an instant, and his gaze. In them, I saw the same hostility felt on the night I first arrived, and they were filled with doubt and suspicion towards me.
斉藤は中庭で待機しろ。伊藤一派の警戒と牽制を頼む。
御意。
Eventually, Hijikata-san faced his gaze on me.
雪村、お前も今夜は幹部のそばにいる。
Hi. It seemed as though his suggestion wasn't out of worry for my well-being, but rather that it wasn't a wise idea for me to be wandering around.
裏の南部邸には絶対に行くんじゃねえぞ。連中、夜は気が立ってるからな。
I bowed slightly, but even with their warnings, I would be limited. Where should I go? Well, we're remaining in the common room. Saito, Harada, and Nagakura had respectively left for the locations at the bequest of Hijikata-san's command, which meant I was alone with Hijikata. Maybe it was because Hijikata-san remained silent, but the mood in the common room felt suffocating. Of course, I bore him no ill will, but we were left to contemplate a somber silence together. My eyes slowly drifted to Hijikata-san, and its brows furrowed in deep indents above drooping eyes. One could see that his heavy concern for Sanan-san was draining him, and it was only after he closed his eyes to breathe that he quietly spoke.
お前は腐っちまってる姿しか知らねえだろうが。三男さんはもともと才もあり腕も立つ人だ。対局も見えるし頭も回る。つまんねえことにこだわって意地張ってばかりの俺の手綱をうまく取ってくれてな。あの人がいなきゃ今の新選組はありえなかった。俺にとっちゃ兄貴みてえなもんだったんだ。
Hijikata-san's sincerity dripped from his curt words, and he balled his hands into tight fists. Sanan-san must have a very special place in your heart.
ま、言葉にすると安っぽくなるがな。
Here he sat, captured by thoughts of a life without his old friend. The truth could be devastating even for Hijikata-san. His position, however, prevented him from revealing this to others, and by sharing these memories with me, he and the truth could wait.
あの薬を捨てちまわなかったのも三男さんの腕を治すためだった。俺たちには三男さんが必要なんだ。あの人を失うわけにはいかねえんだよ。
He scrunched his face heavily, and his usual coldness was dissolving, replaced by an anguish as he considered the morality of his dear friend. He is completely spent. It'll be okay. It'll be okay.
根拠はあるのか。
I do. Back in Edo, I saw my father treat many patients. I'm going to base my judgment on that. Sanan-san will pull through. There's a saying that illness comes from the heart, so it's important to have a strong heart. If everyone believes, from the bottom of their hearts, that Sanan-san will recover, then... Hijikata's eyes thinned a little.
ありがとうよ。たく、どうして新選組の副長がこんな年下の娘に励まされてるんだか。
The fire in his eyes returned.
だが、そうだよな。三男さんは腕の怪我を治すためにあの薬を飲んだんだ。あの人が元気になってくれるよう信じるしかねえな。
And so the long night broke. The captains of the Shinsengumi gathered in the common room.
みんな安心してくれ。峠は越えたようだよ。
I think we can skip ahead now. Work? No, a new place to live, which is going to be Nishihonwanji. 1867, 67, 65. It's not 67. I'm out of it. Right, so we found a place. There's a lot more room, but that means it's farther to walk. I walked through it almost every day for weeks, and I was finally beginning to learn my way around. We can skip this part. And I think this one too. Wait. Yeah, because this is when we meet Kaoru. And then the realization that we kind of look alike. And we feel sad for ourselves. The temple was much larger than the compound in Mibu, as advertised. The whole Shinsengumi could gather in the common room with space to spare. As Kondo-san spoke, his voice echoed grandly throughout the hall. Standing before Kondo-san were the many proud men under his leadership with glowing expressions.
皆も徳川第14代将軍徳川家茂公が上洛されるという話は聞き及んでいると思う。その上洛に伴い公が二条城に入られるまで新選組総力をもって警護の任に当たるべしとの要請を受けた。
将軍公の警護を新選組が？
こりゃとんでもねえ大出世だな。
池田屋や金門の変の活躍でお偉いさん方も俺たちの働きを認めざるを得なかったんだろうよ。
警護中は文字通り僕らの刀に国の行く末がかかってるってことですか？
そういうことだ。てめえら気合い入れていけよ。
将軍公の警護とはまた大役ですな。
本当に三男さんが生きていればどれほどお喜びになったことか。本当に惜しい方を亡くしましたわね。
Shut up, Ito! Right, so they were told that Sanan-san died, his group and many of the other men were told that Sanan died. And in fact, the entire incident surrounding his transformation had been covered up. Only a few of the men of the Shinsengumi knew the truth.
伊藤さん、こたびの幕命を立派に成し遂げることこそ亡くなった三男君が真に望んでいることだと思います。
分かっていますわ。私たちの名を天下に広く知らしめる絶好の機会ですものね。
ともあれ、これから忙しくなりますな。
まずはタイの編成を考えねば。とりあえず俺とトシ、それから掃除。
待ってくれ近藤さん。掃除は今回外してやってくれねえか。
なぜだ？
なんでも風が治らねえとかでな。養生しろって散々言ってるのによ。
本当か？大丈夫なのか掃除？
大した風邪じゃないんですけどね。土方さんは大げさなんですよ。
何言ってやがるんだ。 さっきも咳してただろうが。
それ薬を売りつけるための工場ですか？何を言われても石田三役は買いませんよ。
そんなんじゃねえよ。いいから言う通りにしろ。
I gave Okuta some pretty strong medicine not so long ago. I wonder if that didn't work. Or maybe he doesn't have a cold, but rather he's inhaling dust from the lack of cleaning here? Then suddenly, someone raised his hand.
平介、どうしたんだね。何か気になることでもあるのか？
あのさ、近藤さん。実は俺もちょっと調子が。
なんだ、平介も風邪か？気をつけないといかんぞ。せっかくの晴れ舞台、全員揃って家持公をお迎えしたかったのだがな。
すいません。
ああ、いや、責めたわけではないんだ。体調は大事だからな。いずれまた機会もあるであろうし、二人にはその時存分に働いてもらいたい。
Kondo-san and Hijikata-san continued to discuss their formation, but suddenly Hijikata-san turned to me.
そういや雪村、お前はどうするんだ？
え？
ほうけてるんじゃねえよ。お前は警護に参加するのかって聞いてんだ。
I can go too?
無論構わんとも。君も今や新選組の一員と言っても過言ではない。ぜひ参加してくれ。
Could I really go? I hesitated for a moment, confused, and Okita laughed.
まあ言ってもいいんじゃない？そんなに危険もなさそうだしね。
長州藩士は今日に出入りできねえから、切った張ったの騒ぎにはならねえだろうし。
What should I do? I'm just a little concerned about a person like me who's not a warrior coming along, but I was feeling emotionally strained with no leads to my father turning up on rounds. I'll go!
よし、わかった。お前には伝令やら使いっ走りを頼むことになると思うがな。こき使ってやるから覚悟しとけ。